Hey everyone, want to bring you a quick 49ers update? It's Thursday, August 13th, and we are officially gearing up for some Thursday night gridiron action. Tonight, the San Francisco 49ers host the Tennessee Titans right in the heart of Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. Kickoff is scheduled for 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Even though it's only preseason, there are plenty of massive storylines you need to be watching. Let's start with the home team. The Niners are coming into this game with some notable names on the shelf, meaning we are going to get an extended look at the depth chart. The receiving core took a tough hit recently, and we won't be seeing Ricky Pearsall tonight or at all this year, as he was placed on season-ending injured reserve following PCL surgery. We're also tracking star tight end George Kittle, who is currently on the PUP list, recovering from that torn Achilles he suffered during the playoffs. The good news for Niners fans, Kittle is targeting a return early in the season, but for tonight, his absence leaves a massive opportunity for the backup tight ends and young receivers to prove that they deserve a spot on this stacked 53-man roster. So some of the players we will be looking at here, we're not going to see the Kittles, the McCaffreys, the Purdys, the Warners, a lot of the big names. But some of these unproven guys, definitely curious to see how they play. One of them is quarterback Curtis Ror. So he was a 7th round pick in the 2025 NFL draft. He did not suit up for the Niners last year as he recovered from surgery to repair a torn ACL. He toughed out his final season at Indiana with a knee problem. He has been learning the Niners system for more than a year. He is regularly seen after practice, going to a quiet corner of Levi Stadium to continue to study and watch film after practice. On the field, his attributes are obvious. He is big and throws the ball very well. Rourke appears to be in good position to slot in as the Niners' number 3 quarterback behind Purdy and Mac Jones. His performance in the preseason could determine whether he wins a spot on the 53-man roster or if he'll be destined for the practice squad. Another player to keep an eye out here, this time on the defense, is linebacker Jaden Duggar. So he's a 5th round pick from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. And he's an ideal fit for the new scheme and terminology that defensive coordinator Raheem Morris brought to the Niners. Duggar's college background consisted of 1 season at safety, 1 at edge, and 1 at middle linebacker. In Raheem Morris's system, the so-called fever backer is a position that in theory can tap into all of those skills that Duggar exhibited in college. He can do a little bit of everything. Also, another player to keep an eye on here at wide receiver, since, Niners are having kind of a rough go at wide receiver with injuries and stuff. Will Pauling. So the Niners eliminated 1 player from the competition for the team's punt return job, and wide receiver Will Pauling is still around. The 49ers on Wednesday waived Junior Bergen, a 7th round pick last year. Bergen spent all of last season on the practice squad. Leonard Hankerson said that he's a tough guy. He loves Will. This kid comes in, he works, he stayed here the whole offseason, and he's a hammer in the running game. Right now, he's been the most physical receiver, I'll tell you that much. If Pauling can comfortably field punts in the preseason, he'll put himself into strong contention for a roster spot. Another defender to keep an eye on here is cornerback Ephesians. So the 49ers group of corners look vastly improved from a year ago, as they seem to have adapted well to Raheem Morris's coverage techniques. The 49ers selected corner Ephesians in the 4th round of the draft, but he certainly is not assured a spot on the 53-man roster. The 49ers have good depth at corner in training camp, with Prysock joining Diamador Lenore, Bernardo Green, Upton Stout, Jack Jones, Darrell Luter Jr., Nate Hobbs, and Jacob Robinson. Prysock stands 6'3", and he's at 196 pounds, and he has to prove that he has the fluidity to hang with NFL receivers, and he could face some promising young players with the Titans like Carnell Tate and Wandale Robinson. One more defender to keep an eye on here is linebacker Larry Worth III. He received an invitation to 49ers rookie minicamp, and he made the most of it when he impressed enough to become the only tryout player the team signed to a contract. He stands 6'4", 220 pounds. He was a safety who walked on at Jacksonville State. He played for 2 seasons, and then he transferred to Arkansas. The 49ers see him as a versatile player similar to Duggar, who can play on the line of scrimmage as well as off the ball. So 49ers linebacker coach KJ Wright said that's going to take time to go from safety to linebacker. It's definitely doable, but it's going to take time. He's used to being on the back end, and now he's taking on 300-pound linemen each and every play. Larry Worth III's development hits an inflection point as he goes up against the Titans in his first preseason game. So definitely, the big names for the Niners, kind of the cornerstones or the pillars. A lot of them are going to be sitting out. We're not going to be seeing the Purdy's, the Warners, the Kittles, some of the big names, the Bosa's. But, we will get a chance to look at some of these younger guys. And, on the Titans side, on the other side of the field, they're coming across the country. They're looking to build up some momentum. They have their new head coach, Robert Saleh, who's the former defensive coordinator of the Niners. We know that preseason play calling is pretty vanilla. You may not see anything too crazy. So it could kind of come down to the trenches and how well these teams kind of play on the offensive and defensive line for this game. But, for a lot of the Titans' younger players, this could be some critical reps for them, as some of their younger, unproven guys try to solidify themselves as well in the NFL. Just hours away here from kickoff. Definitely looking forward to this preseason matchup here. Even though we're not going to see the big guns, it's definitely always interesting to kind of see how some of these second and third string players are going to fare. Might need them someday. Just the way things are going lately for the Niners, pretty much since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan showed up with the Niners. There's been tons of injuries, so you never know when those second string guys, those third string guys are going to be called in there into a starting role or a starting position. So let me know what you think about in the comments. Give me your prediction. What's going to go down tonight? Are the Niners going to pull off a win here in this first preseason game for them? Or are the Titans going to come into Santa Clara and take it? Talk to you soon.